Hello, these are the Valorant poll changes coming in 6.11. So this is what poll looks like right now. And so the first changes are like top of B long. So they've filled in this, so there's a lot less space over in that area. And they've removed the ramp. And the one big question as well is like, is this big enough to smoke? It looks big enough that a smoke would fit here. But don't know 100%. But probably the biggest change here is the removal of the ramp. The reason why that this is a big change is because with the ramp, you could play at multiple elevations and you would always be active in the gunfight, which means you don't have to ever jump or anything. You would always have you'd be basically active to fight no matter what. But now you need to jump up here, so you won't be active while jumping. And on top of that as well is that now there's only 2 elevations. There's like one elevation here, so you'll be fighting over the top, and there's one elevation on the floor, where you'll be fighting on the floor. Simply. When before on the ramp, you would have multiple angles, like you could just about show your head and still fight, or you could be right up against it and show like a lot more of you to fight maybe a deeper angle or like a closer angle. And also you wouldn't ever have to be like jumping, so you wouldn't have to have like breaks in when you fight. You would always be able to commit to a fight no matter what elevation you're at. Which is really, really strong. Ramps in general are very, very strong in this game if they're in good positions. This was a good example of that, and now it's gone, which is honestly for the best. Next change is over by halls. So actually, sorry, is over by halls. So they've added like this little area here. We'll go over the change over here in a minute when it comes up. But right now, this is actually a really good change. I would like to see a different camera angle of it, what it looks like fighting shop. Which I think there's actually a video which I haven't seen. Which I might have a look at. Well, the angle might be really, really good for attackers to actually sit in on post. So I think some of the things in these changes are the overall idea of these changes was to make it easier to defend B, but I also think that they also wanted to try and add some value to holding onto the site. Then you didn't have to really go back to main and play post plant from very far away with mollies and things. They want to kind of give you more value for staying on the site. And I think that this angle is one of those changes, along with it does also help the defense, right? Because no longer can it adds another angle to watch for. And it also means like smoke here is like really important. You can't just like get away with a wall going across here like a Viper wall. You can't get away with that anymore because someone can be sitting here and cause you problems. Because well, they wouldn't be affected by that smoke, and they also have cover to work with, so they can get a kill with a flash maybe, and then still retain their position for a long time. And you would have to actually get them out with util probably, or flash them or something, molly them. So it makes the attackers expend more util to clear this corner. So I like it. I like it quite a lot. Then the next changes are the screen. So this is what it looks like now in this current patch, and this is what it will look like soon. So there is now multiple elevations for defense to sit at. There's the ground, there's this on top of this box, and there's on top of this box, and there's also on top of this box. So there's 4 different elevations now as opposed to 2. You also don't need like an updraft or a TP to get on top of here anymore, which means that in post plant, if you say if you were playing Harbor or something and you managed to get a wall on top of this, or Astra wall or something, like close, then when the Astra wall drops, you could actually be sitting on top of this as a retaking defender, and it could be like an actual good angle. I also want to test out some stuff with Harbor on this angle, because there are some angles, some elevations where Harbor's bubble can get him free kills. If you don't know what I mean, I think it was on my Harbor guide for Pearl. Where you can actually get a free fight, similar to how Jet can get a free fight with your cove at certain elevations. If you like, you can like stand up just about out your cove, and then you can shoot and then crouch, and the crouch means that you're in the cove completely, and they can't shoot back. This might be an elevation where this is possible. I don't know without testing it. So we'll have to see. If not, actually, maybe it is. Maybe if I put the cove on here, there's a chance like it could be here. So yeah, there's a chance that you could get like some really, really strong angles with Harbor now on this area. I mean, that's kind of niche and like kind of nuanced, but oh well. This part as well is no longer wallbangable, so people can sit here. The defenders can sit here and not be wallbanged. So this is really, really big, right? Because it means that attackers have to actually check. Not only do they have to check the rest of site and fight the rest of site, even despite the smokes, right? Flooding's a lot stronger because if they don't push up and clear this site, this part fast, then they can flood, and then it creates a lot of 50-50s where they need to check this angle, they need to fight site. So it can make a lot of problems for, especially, I would say ranked, but even coordinated play. As soon as this person contacts you, start flooding. Could be very, very strong. Or at least if you know they're pushing through this. So it could be really strong. Also, things to note as well is that stage wall will actually fully get this now, so there won't be any gaps. Or like maybe even like I don't know. I think there just won't be any gaps. And I'm pretty sure an Astra Smoke might fully get this now. I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll have to test. But I'm pretty sure that one Astra Smoke will do here now. Which means that you would actually be able to use a suck more likely. It's more likely they'd be able to use more util for this. So the next change is to this little screen. So I actually want to see if there's any more changes. I'm missing. I think it's just the screen. Yeah, it's just the screen. Yeah, it's just the screen. I think they're on 2 different settings, actually. I think this person's on low settings. This person's on... Person has slightly different settings because this light changes quite drastically. Unless they've just changed the lights. I know. But sidetracked. But what this means actually quite a few different things. Well, 2 different things, really. So it first of all gives you an angle that is completely covered. It also makes fighting this angle a bit harder. Because you have to essentially go deeper. You have to go deeper in these angles to actually fight this person, and like get them out of the angle, unless you just want to wallbang it, which is also possible. But the reason, I like this being wallbangable. The reason being is because it actually means like agents like Cypher and Sova, just to name a few, Fade as well, can use this as a way to, similar to how they would use Dugout, where they can use it to get wallbangs on the enemy while minimizing the risk on themselves, because they won't be visible. Obviously, it's a lot less safe than Dugout, so it's probably not quite that insane. But I can imagine as well, like, because this has been widened, this angle also got like to a point where it's deeper. You have to like, you have to like peek deeper. You have to peek this further out to see long. So what you can do is, like, if you're like a Sova or a Fade in this position, if you like send a reveal somewhere that can reveal some people in long, you can actually wallbang this and they will be unlikely to retaliate back, as opposed to if you were just peeking this off like a haunt or something. So yeah, these are the changes. My like small opinions on them. I'll try to make this fast. So yeah, generally this is like very defender sided. And it definitely, I think there is some incentives for the attacking team to actually take the site a tiny bit more. Mainly this change. So it depends quite a bit on what the angle looks like in this area to street or to shop or whatever people call it, or lane, like that kind of area, like the short B. It really depends on that angle. Like if you're like visible in this corner from that angle or something, it looks deep enough to me, but we'll see. That could make it so this is actually quite a good angle to play contact in, where like someone else contacts them coming onto site and you can swing with a flash, like a sky flash or something. Bear in mind you probably have to have someone back halls as well. But I don't know, I feel like this opens up more chances that the defenders, so the attackers, can sit on site, which I think is like a really good direction for Pearl, because they need to try and find ways for the attackers to feel like they should be sitting on the site and playing from the site, because it's just more interesting and more chance of things going being close and actually being expressed through skill, and not expressed through molly timings and things like that, because it's a lot less skillful to rely on molly timings and post plant than it is to actually retake sites against players that are on site, and to play against the retakers directly. So yeah, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to be doing the full patch rundown when the patch actually launches. So I'll hopefully see you then, and goodbye.